Well, here we are back at the Bayshore Community Center. Harry Lumley, game between Manitoba All-Stars and Mildmay Moose. The 2018 Canadian Juvenile Broomball Championships, and it's the B-side men's bronze game. All these teams are champions in their own right. So, I mean, they may have not done particularly well in this tournament, but most of them are fairly skilled. Most of them are here to win a game, and I understand part of the record. I think the Mildmay has not had the greatest record in this tournament, but they'll put on a show this morning, pardon me, and because they don't want to go home without winning a game.
Oh, exactly. We've got the best of the best here. So, there's always going to be a winner, but there's always got to be a loser. And the fact remains is these teams are all really good. This should be a really competitive game, I think, tonight, or this morning. I keep wanting to say tonight. But
well, it was dark when I got up.
Exactly. It still feels like night to us, actually. That's the thing. But, yeah, I think this will be a really competitive game. Probably be fairly physical in that, too. And, you're going to see some of these guys can really shoot that ball.
So which will be exciting. I mean, you look at the records, and one is a little better than the other, and basically these guys finished a little bit down the lineup, but they want to win. They don't want to go out of here without something to say that they've done. And it's a bronze medal game on the B side, and it means something. And when you put a jersey on, it doesn't matter whether it's on a rec league game on a Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon or a Pee Wee game. You're putting that jersey on with pride, and you want to win. And I think these guys will come out and play well today.
Absolutely. When you're playing a tournament or playoffs or anything, you always want to win your last game that you're playing, because that's the one that sticks with you the most. So these guys want to go out on a winning note.
Well, I think they do, but this tournament has just been absolutely so well run, and we've got to give some credit to the powers that be. Everybody that I've spoken to has said what a tremendous job that the volunteers and, of course, the words escape me, the guys in charge,
yes.
The coordinators that are here, and they have done just a wonderful job, and it says something for our community and our local Broomball Association about the fact that this is the third major tournament that they've had in the last 5 years here in Owen Sound. They had the men's championship, All Ontario's. In 2016, they had the Canadians men's championship, and now the juvenile championship. So obviously they do something right, and Broomball Canada and Broomball Ontario keeps wanting to come back here.
Absolutely, yes. There's no doubt about that. They did a great job with all three. I'm sure they learn more and more from every tournament that they put on too. And yeah, I've heard nothing but great things from all the teams and that here, that they've had quite a good time here.
They had a big banquet last night too, where the awards went out, and to the players, and the all-star teams were chosen, and individual teams. We talked about the young goaltender from the Young Guns who won the MVP for her team and then made first all-star. So we were quite pleased to see that. And McGregor, I think.
Yeah, Jessica McGregor, I believe, yeah.
Jess was phenomenal last night. We did that Young Guns game last night, and she was just unreal and kept her team in the games. Unbelievable goaltender, certainly did deserve that. So there's been some highlights and whatnot here in this tournament. But later on today, folks, we're going to have the gold medal games in the Canadian Championships around 1 o'clock. So stay tuned. We've got some great action coming to you with Broomball here on Rogers TV, as we're going to get set for the action in the opening face-off of this game between the Mildmay Moose and the Manitoba All-Star Boys. They've come a long way. And I assume that their bus was being packed this morning as I drove through at 6:30, and so they're getting ready to go pretty well after their games and the award presentation. So Manitoba, of course, are coming from the Winnipeg area, because I'm assuming that. So
it's a long old way, that's for sure. This is one big country we live in.
Well, Mildmay Moose, be to your right, had some good memories about Mildmay, bringing my hockey team down from Sudbury and playing in the old arena in Mildmay, and good group of people from that town, and of course the Mildmay Moose playing broomball in the Canadian Championships. It's the bronze medal B-side with Manitoba All-Stars. And you'll see Ian Bonneau, one of the goaltenders, and you can see his record, 6-game, 1-5 record, 3.50, 2.21 goals against, and shutouts he got one. So goaltenders, game's underway. Ball is being controlled by the Mildmay Moose, and that's 19, Westerholt. And then losing it to the All-Stars. Back across to Curry. Curry has it, tries to get it up along the board. Stolen by number 13, Goulet. Goulet tried to get it through, and finally the goaltender, Jason Watke, I believe it is, number 1. Watke.
Yeah, grabs that ball, stops it up here. We've only played less than 30 seconds here. But, yeah, get organized back. You got your captain take the face off.
Kenny Scott wins the draw, goes off into the corners at 19. Kevin Westerholt. Walt Westerholt along the boards, tries to carry it out, doesn't get it out. Nice play as it's tipped back in behind the goal. Moose trying to get it out of trouble, and that's big number 20, Selman, and he just knocks it around, or 21. Selman couldn't control it in his own. Here come the Moose. Through center, little tip pass and to himself. So that's number 12, Christopher Cormack. Cormack takes his man into the corner heavily. A little bit of body contact going down there.
We'll see lots of that in this game, I'm sure.
Blacksmith tries a little back pass off the wall to himself. Didn't work. Stolen by number 16, Beggs. Beggs has it, gets it back out to Fairmar. There's the long shot and just whistled wide. These guys can shoot it. Pinned along the board, but Cormack missed the check. And the All-Stars bring it out through center. There's a back shot off the body in front, and we're getting a high sticking call right off the bat. And the face-off is going to come out to, of course, to the blue line on the far side. Heading to, and it's going to be high sticking. I'm not saw the.
Looks like the Mooses are getting the penalty, so you're going to have Manitoba going on the power play here to try and start things off.
Dawson Beggs in the penalty box for 2 minutes at the 16-minute mark. He's there for his high sticking and the face-off down deep in the zone. And, of course, that the All-Stars in the round robin beat Mildmay 1-0. So here they go. There's the ball comes back into the corner. Kenny Scott on it. Scott has it. Trying to set it up. Scott takes it right back up to the middle to Zerordi. Back to Zerordi. They're just moving it around slowly, just having the defense back in. Zerordi has it. Going to get set. Try to get the backdoor shot. Back to Zerordi. Zerordi passes it off. Scott fires it into a crowd. Couldn't get it through. Comes back to Zerordi. He winds up. There's the shot right in the throat area of number 6, Holtz, and he's holding his throat. He was hurt with that one.
That doesn't feel good.
No. And he gets it, and he's just going to dump it out, and he's going to head to the bench.
Yeah, you knew that was coming. So that's a way to hang in there to make the play and help your team.
They're already in his own zone. Taking it off to Cormack. Cormack back to Zerordi has it.
Manitoba needs to move the ball just a little bit quicker here, too, especially when they were set up and Mildmay were in their box there. They need to move that ball just a little bit quicker to create the scoring opportunity in the lane.
Still on. They're going to watch the replay where he got that shot off his throat, so you're going to see the ball come out. There's a Scott out of the corner. And Scott just passes it back to Zeraldi, and Zeraldi just drives it. And like we said in the warm-up, these guys can shoot the ball, and it takes, when they get it upstairs like that, it gets it right under the throat. There's no throat protector, so.
No, there's no protection there, so that does not feel good at all. No, but he'll be back for his next shift, I'm sure.
It wouldn't surprise me. Pretty tough guys, these Canadian kids playing broomball.
Absolutely. You sound a bit like Don Cherry there.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's a compliment or not.
For me, it is anyways. Yeah. Take it that way.
Oh, thank you. There's Scott twisting and turning, getting set, fires it, an awful leg in front. Good defensive play. by number 12, and that's Christopher Cormack. Cormack up along the wall, going to take a shot, going to get a short-handed shot, decides to just waste the time and kill the clock. And 6 seconds remaining in the penalty. Nice job at the penalty killers, the Mildmay Moose. Wasting a lot of time. And that's a good job by Fairminer in the corner. Fairminer, the captain of this team. There's a stop at 12. Christopher Cormack, he sets his man up, and then the ball comes along the wall, picked up. There's a long shot, but off the body and off into the corner as Cormack had a crack at it. Back pass, can't control it as the All-Stars. There's a shot and it just whipped wide. And they're coming out along the wall. This is number 12, Zach Zarordi. Zarordi loses the ball, changing direction. Zarordi back on it. Stolen, Grubb has it. Grubb in the corner. Lane Grubb centers it back out in front, can't control the pass. It's number 11, Curry. He slid on his knees through the goal, almost through the goal crease.
Moose is just keeping the pressure on here, that's for sure.
Moose doing a nice job of keeping them trapped in their own zone, and then just fire down the ice, and we're going to get an icing call and get a break here early with about 7 minutes gone in this first frame. And right now, Moose have had, as far as I'm concerned, have had the territorial advantage, even though they were sitting in the sin bin for 2 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah. The first couple minutes, certainly it looked like Manitoba was going to sort of take the game to them. They had some chances on that power play, but Mildmay was able to kill probably the last 30 seconds of the power play, having control the ball in the Manitoba zone, and now are starting to turn it up.
And Mildmay in first, loose ball in front. There's a shot. Good stop by Bruno. Bruno got the leg down and stopped that ball from going into the goal. And good scoring opportunity by the Moose. Ball is in the corner. That's number 16, Beggs. Beggs gets it back out in front. Back out in front out to number 2 is Durbin, pardon me. There's the shot, and it's wide as it was uncorked by McGill just as he was sitting in the circle, and it went off into the corner. Good ball control by the Moose, and then tipped away. Here comes some speed. Couldn't quite get back to the defender. That was number 13, Goulet. Goulet had a chance up along the wall with number 16, Beggs, and Beggs trying hard. The All-Stars. Number 21. We have 21, Jesse Murphy. Jesse Murphy, not on my sheet, but I found him.
Yeah, there we go.
There's the shot, and off the body in front as it was deflected off Selman. So he got a hand up and knocked it away. Number 17, Swanston. There's the shot wide as it was whacked through by Gauthier.
Yeah, Mildmay really has control of the ball here and is really putting the pressure on Manitoba.
J.J. Swanson, little backhander off the leg in front, and here comes Manitoba. And they couldn't get it out of the zone. Finally picked up by Gauthier. Loses the ball through center and then picked up by Holt. Holt has it. Drops it off to Gauthier. Gauthier has it along the boards. Gauthier tried a little back pass. Good defense is coming off the bench. James Moore, and he got across ice to thwart that chance. Ball in behind the net. Christopher Cormack couldn't corral it, but does get it along the top of the side of the circle. There's a long shot, whacked wide and high and wide of the net. A lot of shooting, but not too accurate right now. The lead pass picked off by number 15, James Moore. Moore had a chance, gets control of it, looks at it, then fires it wide of the net. Looking to see if he can deflect it off the back, and goaltender Jason Watke picks it up.
That was a really smart play by the Manitoba player there. The defender off Mildmay had taken away his passing lane, so all he could do is bounce it off the backboards, and hopefully he was hoping that his center could run on and get to the ball before the keeper there. So,
well, something that they do in this game, they do use the boards. They use the boards an awful lot as a sixth man to pass the ball to. Little flip off, little. They'll up the ball and then use the glass. They use it specifically, more so in broomball than you even see in hockey, instead of using the boards for.
Absolutely, because the ball is just so much bigger. It's so much easier it's so much more easier to stop it as a defenseman. So you really have to do indirect passing an awful lot to get the ball where it needs to go.
Gauthier has it. Gauthier all by his lonesome. Just a little dump pass in and going to make it difficult for Watke, but Watke had no trouble. Just picked it up and dumped it in behind the net. To number 19, Westerholt. Westerholt just that long lead pass, got some speed. And number 3, that's Farmirner, and he couldn't get control of the ball, but that was a nice play. He tried to run it by the defender. Kenny Scott coming through center. Kenny Scott 3-on-2. Got some back checking. Now he's all bottled up, but still manages to keep control of that ball. Gets it back out to Zerordi. Zerordi back to the blue line. Inside to Scott. Scott twists, turns, got a chance. Got a little wrist shot to the back. Oh, right to knock. There's the shot with a block by number 19, and he used his face on that one. That was Calvin Westerholt. That shot was labeled.
That would have made a mess if he didn't have a screen guard on there.
No doubt about it, but no worse for wear. And we're getting a whistle.
Looks like a tripping call is going here.
Looks like Scott's heading to the sin bin with a tripping call, and Mildmay's going to go on the offense with 9:22 remaining in the first frame, and you're going to see number 3 get upended by Scott, and Fairminer just ended up.
Yeah, just reaching for the ball there and couldn't quite get it and took the feet out, and that was enough. And that's a bad break for Manitoba because they really started to put the pressure on the last couple minutes, and now it's time for Mildmay to go on the power play, and they're going to see if they can take back the momentum and maybe get a goal here.
Koba wins the draw, gets it back out to the point. That's Kunkel. Kunkel has it. Back to Fairminer. Fairminer sets it up. Back to Kunkel. There's the shot. Deflected. Scored.
The whistle already blew. Will not be a goal.
Well, I'm concerned, but the first one went in. I'd like to see the replay on that, which we will, knowing Mark. We'll know whether that went in before the whistle.
Here we go. So here's the hard shot here. Allen passes it over, and then he gets it back here. And I can't tell for sure whether it went through or not, just from our camera angle there. It was hard to tell whether he maybe stopped it with the back of the legs, I guess.
Well, I think what happened was he did have it. He got. Well, that's what it looked like. It looked like he had it between his legs, and then the whistle went, and the player at the side, I believe it was number 3, Fairminer, had a chance to. Fairminer made a great shot, but good stop by Bruno originally. Here we are again, still on the power play.
And there we go. So
now they got it back.
Yeah.
That's number 10. Nicholas Kunkel gets the shot, and Bruno. I don't know whether it touched anybody in front or not, or changed direction a bit, but Kunkel is so excited about that out there.
He is pumped. And here we go. Here's the replay. So the ball comes out from the corner, passes it out to Kunkel. He just takes a hard shot, and it just sort of finds its way between the legs of the goalie Bruno there. And it's 1-0 Mildmay.
Well, I don't know whether they expected to get that one or not, but always good things happen when you put the ball on the net. So.
Yeah, when you don't shoot, you score 0% of the time. That's what I was told.
Well, hey, that's pretty astute. That guy, whoever told you that, pretty sharp guy.
Yeah, I'd love to say I came up with that myself, but that would be a lie.
Number 7, and that's Gauthier. Takes the ball in behind his own net. Gauthier looking for the open man. Slows stuff down. Manitoba All-Stars. And the Mildmay Moose. 8 minutes remaining in this frame, and we do 2 18-minute periods. And it's stop time in the tournaments. Kenny Scott trying to make amends for the penalty as they got that on the power play. And that was Kunkel scoring that goal. Nicholas Kunkel, number 10, on a shot. We have a 1-0 game here with 7 minutes remaining. Scott in the slot area. tried to get the shot away. Good stick by the forward, and now they're doing it. He's got the ball between his knees, and they were being pushed around a bit, and we're getting a whistle, and we're getting cross-checked. Yeah,
he held onto the ball long enough. Great ball control there by Scott, and he was able to draw the penalty by Mildmay. So now it's Manitoba's time to try and respond to that goal with a power play one of their own.
And the Moose heading to the defense. You're going to see it in front. Good work by Scott as he's twisting and turning in the slot area. Gets knocked down, and then he's pushed. I don't know if he's cross-checked, but he certainly was pushed. Oh, there's the cross-check right there. That's what they call. So got the two hands on the stick and knocked it down. So in the penalty box, I believe, is number 5 of the Mildmay Moose is Calvin Westerholt.
Now we got the ball right at the top of the point here, and going to move it over quickly, and a tip in, and just almost went in there by Manitoba there. Now they're going to have to go back and retrieve the ball.
But here they go, Manitoba, number 12, Zachary Sorority. And he has the ball taken away by Cormac. Cormac has it in the corner, dumps it behind his own net. Then just flared out to this side. Then off the wall, nice play. Wildmill still can't get it out as number 16. Dawson Beggs had a chance to get it out, couldn't. And Wildmill goaltender Jason Watkey just picks the ball up.
Yeah, just going to hold on to that and slow it down as much as you can. Always a good idea when you're killing a penalty as much as possible. Try and slow all the play down. It's always tougher to get your changes in too, so that's a great way to make sure you get some 4 fresh set of legs on the ice there.
Well, you've got to do that. Face off. Ball back out to the blue line. Take it back. Number 8, that's Dirigny. Boy, that's
that's a mouthful and a half, isn't it?
That's for sure. Back to Sorority. Girardi has it again, getting in the slot area. Back to Scott. There's a shot off a leg in front. Pardon me, that was Dirigny had it.
That just ended up going just wide of the net there, too. Really good scoring opportunity.
Ball right out in front. Here's a chance. They're going to drive the thing off a body in front. Good play. Good block. And that was number 12, Christopher Cormac, getting in position and keeping that ball knocked away. Ball comes back over the red line, and they're all going to have to come back now. And they're forcing them deep.
Great play by Grubb there from Mildmay, and that allowed all his other 3 players to change there.
And true enough, and of course number 19 is Westerholt, Calvin Westerholt. And he drives the ball out. Chance Jeffrey is number 5, so that's who got the penalty. Some of the numbers might not quite be
100% here.
This is true. Zach Ziswardy in behind his own goal. Coming out, running down the ice, gonna get, there's a little dump pass through center. And pass away by Westerholt. Calvin Westerholt, number 19. 4. Westerholt has the ball. Little dump pass through center, that one off the clock. One of the things about the Owen Sound Arena is we have a low ceiling for some odd reason. They didn't build it any higher, but now we've got this big clock in the middle, and the ball sometimes deflect off it, puck will direct off it, and because you try to set it up the ice. So here you got to keep the passes a lot lower, or unless you're going up the side. So even then the beams are low. So.
Exactly, and so often in broomball you are using flip passes over the red line too, so it comes into play probably even more in this sport than it does in hockey, that it's going to be part of the problem here.
We have a penalty being called, and it went to number 2, Colby Gauthier, and that's why we're heading down the ice, and you with 4:55 remaining, and there's Colby going into the penalty box.
And I had to admit, I didn't even actually see that one.
Well, I didn't either, but there was a stop and play, and the All-Stars having trouble getting that ball out of their zone, and there's a crowd of guys behind that little bit of footwork trying to get the ball loose. But the All-Stars come up with it, and then finally kicking it up along the boards to Lane Grubb. Grubb has it. Grubb gets it back to Fairminer. Fairminer Getting it set up. Remember the Fairminer. There's the shot. It's fired wide on this side, picked up by Kunkel. Kunkel's the goal scorer. There's the shot. And it's been a little slow with this power play, but they're just trying to set it up. Fairminer has it. Fairminer. Back to Kunkel. There's the shot. And it's hit wide. In control again are the Mildmay Moose, playing a good game on this power play. Keep the ball control. There's the shot. And it just fired wide. Tried to deflect it was number 7, Koval, but Koval didn't get a chance to get a stick on it because it was a little bit too high. Scott couldn't get it out of the zone. Then it's fired right back in.
You could tell Scott was looking for that break there to try and make it through, but
we had, there's a whistle. And I believe it was a bench minor with too many men on the ice, and Mark is going to show us. We got
there we go.
6 Blacks players, and you're right, there are too many on the ice.
That's right.
They'll do anything to win, will they? I don't
yeah,
know.
Exactly.
I don't think that was intentional.
No, that's one of those ones where you think you have the man, and another guy thinks he has the man, and yeah, two went on when only one came off, and I'm not a great mathematician, but I know that doesn't work very well. So
that's a great shot by the camera guys, and Mark Perry, our producer, has been doing a yeoman service. We've produced a whole bunch of games this weekend for the tournament, and the crew has been out, so we really appreciate having them. We can't do that without the great volunteers that we do have. So shout out to Mark and a great quality telecast. I had somebody the other day stop me and say what a great job we were doing. So appreciate the kudos. Thanks so much. But it all stems from good leadership. And Mark, thanks so much for everything.
Yes, thank you, Mark. And thanks to the cameramen, too. They did a fine job. It's a good thing they were focused on the play, because apparently I wasn't. So. Well,
I didn't see it either. So we were wondering both why they had a penalty, but it was a bench minor, too many men on the ice. And the ball comes back to Calvin Westerholt, number 19, Westerholt. And the penalty, we better watch it, get it off. There's the shot, rung it wide, and but the Moose still have the ball behind the net. And we've only got 4 guys on the ice, so we're playing.
Well, we're really unfocused here. We didn't actually even realize that Mildmay also have a penalty. So
well,
now
we were looking at the replay and we saw it, and we were watching, and then it occurred on the ice. So that was what the stoppage in play was. But anyway, and the Moose and the All-Stars are on the power play. I wasn't sure whether the coach knew what they were doing with only 4 on the ice, but we were at fault here. So
did we mention it's still fairly early in the morning?
Oh,
yeah.
I had my coffee, so I shouldn't have any excuse. Anyway, ball's back to the blue. Yeah, that's true. The crew got it right, but we didn't. So we're hearing things in our headset that are, I'm not sure complimentary or not. But anyway, we're back to the action, and Fan on the drive, and here comes the. I thought he was going to let her fly, but he did. There's the shot, and through off the goaltender Watke. His number 7, Aaron Gauthier, got a great shot. Comes back out to 12. That's Zarate. Zarate back to Gauthier. Gauthier tried to get the shot through, couldn't, and there was a lot of bodies. A little bit of back. There's the shot, comes out in front. Nice block by number 3, and that's Nick Farrimer. There's the shot off a body in front. Scott had a chance to put it by the. And there's a lot of rubber going at the goaltender right now as Manitoba All-Stars. It's kind of unique, though, that the Mildmay Moose are one team, and yet the American Hockey League team out of Manitoba is the Manitoba Moose. So I almost said Manitoba Moose.
I was wondering if you were having problems with that, because I knew it was affecting me, because I kept thinking, oh, I'm saying Manitoba, and then I'm saying the Moose, but they're 2 different teams.
They certainly are. Of course, Mildmay Moose have the ball in their own zone. Almost knocked in on the side was number 7, and that's Gauthier. Gauthier had a chance, but didn't quite get a hold of that ball. Here Mildmay gets the ball and stood up at the blue line. It was number 5, Jeffrey Chance. There we go. along the wall, and the ball ended up in the middle of the ice surface. Kunkel. Kunkel had it along the wall, couldn't handle it. Must have changed it. And there goes the whistle, and the first frame is in the books, and Mildmay Moose leading this game 1-0 on a goal by number 17. I think was it J.J. Watson or was it Kunkel that got the goal?
Oh.
I think it was Kunkel.
I think it was Kunkel,
yeah,
yes.
Number 10, Kunkel.
Yeah, what an exciting first half, though. Back and forth. Each team has sort of took turns dominating, really. It's you'll have Manitoba dominate for 3 or 4 minutes, and then Mildmay comes back. I'm sure the penalties have had a lot to do with that, though. Well,
it slowed part of the game down, but of course, shots on goal, if we had probably keeping them, would pretty well say. But both goaltenders playing very well in those series, especially when Mildmay had a chance down there. Bruno made a couple of great saves when they were shorthanded. But talking about good team members, one of the team members that we're really glad to have on board here at with Rogers TV is Dairy Queen, because Dairy Queen supplied crew refreshments, and we really appreciate it. It's been certainly a nice change. We've had hamburgers and chicken burgers, and they have a whole raft of things down at the store that you'd be more than happy to give you if you want to stop in anytime. There you see it, 8 3rd Avenue East, Owen Sound, and 315 Main Street, Sauble Beach. It opens up probably a long weekend in May. Stays through till the end of after Thanksgiving. Well, they'll be getting her opened up. They don't necessarily, but we know that we have a trailer out at the beach, and it's nice to go down to Dairy Queen and have a nice cream cone on a long hot day. And I know it opens up at least a long weekend, but it could change. They could be out there now, but I don't think with the snow on the ground that Dairy Queen at the beach is opened up, because it's in the winter time. Sauble is almost a ghost town. And, we have to go out and check on our trailer every once in a while, make sure the snow is there. But let me tell you, folks, you're out there and you're at the beach and you're enjoying the water and the sun. You can't get near the Dairy Queen out there, so it's a great thing. Second period action underway. Ball knocked down by number 2, and of course that's Mitchell Durbin. Durbin just knocks it in behind his own net to the far side, off the wall. Little dump pass through center, nice play. Gets it up to Fairminer. Fairminer just dumps it into the zone. Going to do dump and chase. Chasing after is number 12, Zach Zarate. There's the shot. He blocks it. Again, getting set. Mildmay, there's a little back shot off Zarate. He's in the way of this all the time. Allen tried to get it out, and then he tried to get it up the ice and couldn't get control of it. Zarate again. And he's taken off the ball by Mitchell Durbin, and Durbin stays with him, and then Zarate just...
Hard shot to the head there.
Right in front, there's the shot, good save. There's got to have 2 great stops. His goaltender, Jason Watke, comes out big in that play, got a leg save, and then got that big body in front of the ball and knocked it down. We're going to see the replay. It's a nice play coming out of the corner. And that's number 14, Blacksmith. Blacksmith had 2 chances at it, and cutting down the angle on the second shot was Bruno, or pardon me, was Watke, and he made a great 2 good stops to keep them in the game. Keep this 1-0 lead. There you go. Manitoba in the zone, twisting and turning. This is Scott. Scott bothered, but still has control of the ball. Scott turns. Nice play. And finally, he gets a little bit of help. It's number 16. Dawson Beggs comes in. There's the shot. Knocked off into the fence. And then Watke just knocks it off into the corner. Watke playing well in this early going of this the second frame. Kevin Westerholt knocks it out along the wall. Westerholt. Isaac Coble just dumps it out along the wall. That through center, stopped by Selman. Selman just fires it right back in. They got to be careful. They're getting pinned in their own zone. They've had 2 or 3 good scoring chances. Manitoba. Loose ball. Stolen. Number 13, McGill. McGill has a chance. He gets knocked off into the corner. McGill doing his best to control that ball. Can't. And finally coming up with is the black-shirted player, number 7. Of course, that's Gauthier.
Nice little pass in there. Wow.
There's a shot attempt by number 7, Isaac Coble, and it just not set. And Coble steals it, gets a chance. There's a shot. Good save. Wow, I tell you, Bruno had to be good on that one. Stealing the ball was Isaac Coble, and you're going to watch it probably on replays. He got it down, and then he let her fly. And equal to the test, of course, was Ian Bruno from the Manitoba All-Stars.
Yeah, he just took it away there, and then the real, even more dangerous is that rebound that came out to Bird and Berard.
I believe Blaine Selman blocked that, and then Bruno got the rebound. But because Watkin or rather Selman come out of the corner, and I was watching it on replays. You were talking.
Yeah.
But no doubt about it, the second save by Bruno for sure was there. If he didn't stop the first one, he stopped. Here come the All-Stars. Little lead pass. Got some good speed coming up the wall. Kobe Gauthier. Gauthier gets it back to Rakitny. I am sorry if I am. That is a bunch of letters. Anyway.
We'll just call him Dominic from now on. That's his first name.
Dominic, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
At least I can do that one right.
There we go. Oh, that always hurts when you go down hard like that.
Jeffrey Chance losing his footing, and there's a long Chance knocked his man, and of course that's Zarodi, and he's a good player. They know that. There's another. Scott knocked his man off the ball, picking it up. Holtz, and he heads to the bench. Not a very big forward, and he took a punishing blow along the boards. He's heading to the bench. Nice move by Scott, getting into the zone. Still has control of the ball. Trying to pass it off. He's going to turn it, and now there it is. There's the shot. Oh! They're counting it.
Yeah. I was wondering, that was really close on the level to High Broom there, but you can tell that Scott's the real danger man on this Manitoba team. He certainly creates most of the plays here. We're going to have a replay here, and Scott keep forcing it and dishes it off to the guy right at the side of the net here in just a second. Back there, and just dogged persistence. 1, 2, and the third crack at it, and I guess it was just under the crossbar. A nice little play there by Blacksmith to stick with that play and put it past the goalie Watke.
Watke made 2 great stops on that play, but that ball got up in the air, and taken out of the air, of course, was Scott, and he was rewarded. I believe Scott got the goal.
I think it might have been Blacksmith there, but third time's a charm, that's for sure.
Well, Phil's correct, but here comes Mildmay. Good chance. There's the shot, fired it too hard through the goal crease. Might have been better to finesse that, but looking for the deflection, I think. Doing some forechecking is Curry. Manitoba losing the ball along the board, finally getting it back. They get it again. Here they come, and then just knock back in. Nice stick work. Manitoba just dumps the ball out, and that's number 2, Colby Gauthier. Gauthier gets it up to Blacksmith, who's the goal scorer. You're right, now that I see the number. He was the one parked off the side of the net. Mitchell Durbin in behind his own goal. Durbin out along the boards. Classic breakout, little tap up the wall using that wall. Good speed. In comes number 12, Christopher Cormack. Cormack into the corner with the ball. Looking for some help. Cormack right front, backside. Picked up by Grubb. Grubb has it in the corner. Gets it back to Curry. Noah Curry fires it high and wide. 1-1 tie with 12 minutes remaining in the second period. Coming off the bench. Taking that pass was Dawson Beggs, and Beggs controls it, knocks it off into the corner. Looking for the ball for his Fairminer. In there with Scott. Scott was the mastermind of that goal as he kept control of that ball in the slot area. Here he comes again. Good speed. Good control of the ball. handles it so well. Then he fires it, kicked off into the corner by Kevin Westerhout. And on him is Lane Grubb, and Lane Grubb is number 21, Jesse Murphy. Stopped at the blue line, Gauthier. Gauthier just dumps it right back inside. Here come the Moose out of their own zone. Number 16, Dawson Beggs. Beggs 2-on-1. In front, there's the chance. Oh, nice defensive play by number 7, and that's Aaron Gauthier. He slid and knocked that ball away. Dominic Derrickney, I guess we'll keep trying.
Don't worry, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Number 16, Dawson Beggs, just knocks the ball into the corner. Again, out in front, and then, of course, just knocks it away. Loose ball on it quickly. Number 13, Wyatt Goulet, and Goulet has a chance, and to cut it off, and then just knocked off the ball was Westerhout. Oh, dangerous play. That ball just deflected and fired up the wall. See if you got any speed to pick it up. Right idea, just didn't quite get there. You almost got to be a pool player to play broomball.
Yeah, you got to know your angles.
Yes, for sure. You get the angle where to pick that ball up. Nice pass onto the broom. And number 15, Seth Gauthier. Gauthier going to track it down in the corner. Gauthier in behind the net. A little bit of footwork. Keep that ball alive. And stolen. Along the wall, trying to see who's got it. They kind of get away from our Kunkel. Couldn't keep it in. 2-on-1. Number 14 is Blacksmith, the goal scorer. Blacksmith going in on goal. Can't control it, and running him down was Rick Holst. I think he should have passed that ball before he did. And, of course, good play by Holst and run him down. 2-on-1. Shouldn't waste those opportunities.
Yeah, with that little slip by the defenseman there, by the defenseman Holst there, that was the perfect time for Blacksmith to move that ball over to his other player there and just trying to, because he had a Moore sitting right there wide open, and would have been probably a lot easier tap in for him.
Well, I'll tell you, it was that number 6, Rick Holst, lost his footing in a game of clean path, and they had a 2-on-1. All he had to do was dump it off, and they had the goaltender at his mercy, Jason Watgate, at his mercy. And nice play as Holst got himself back and managed to sweep check the ball and knock the player down, and didn't trip him, but he got the ball first. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to keep trying to get back there when you have a 2-on-1. You never know when you're going to be able to get back and break up a play if it slows down.
Bronze medal game here, B championship side, Canadian Juvenile Boys Championship.
That was a beautiful flip in there to the winger breaking in 21 off there.
And it looks like the Mildmay Moose have control in their own zone, starting to bring that ball out. Need some offense, got to get that one back. They gave up a goal, so it's 1-1. Off the wall, stolen. And number 15, James Moore. Moore can't control it. As Chance got a hold of it and knocked it out. Back along the wall, Mitchell Durbin. Durbin has it. And he can't control it, and then swept right back into the zone by Colby Gauthier. Durbin knocks his man down. Trying to get the ball. Durbin chasing it down along with number 21, Jesse Murphy. Here they come out of the zone again. Little kick pass, lost the control of it. And he gave it to Scott. Scott's a dangerous forward. Scott has it again. He handles the ball so well, as we saw in that last goal. If it wasn't for him and his efforts, can't give that man that ball. Out to number 12, Chris McCormack. Cormack just knifes it back into the zone, and then out along the wall is number 17, snaring that ball is J.J. Swanson. There's the shot. Oh, what a great stop. Loose ball in front. There it is again, trying to get that backhander and couldn't do it. He and Bruno came up big that time. And then knocked down. Are we going to get a call? Nope. Yeah, we are. We're going to get a tripping call. And I believe it was number 2, Mitchell Durbin.
Yeah, that Scott really creates problems out there for Mildmay. We're going to see the replay here of coming in. A great effort, beautiful little dump off there, and a nice save by the keeper, Bruno. there, and then more shots, and then finally they were able to clear it out there. Zadorsky finally was able to get that ball, moved it up to Scott after that play, and Scott was able to draw the penalty here. So now we've got Mildmay shorthanded, and Manitoba's going to try and take the lead on the power play here.
Well, Manitoba, this Scott is, like I say, he can handle that ball really well, and he's out there. So there's Scott going to take the pass. Scott has it, getting set to look for the back pass. He's going to backhand it. Couldn't do it. Decided to wait more out in front. Keith Blacksmore, he's got the goal. He's got one of the 2 goals scored. There's the shot off a body in front into the corner. Just tipped out of harm's way. Ball is along the wall. We've got an injury, and they called the play, and I don't understand that because he got up. Yeah, and the referee blew the whistle.
He went in hard to the boards. I was almost wondering if the referee was trying to decide whether he was calling a penalty or not on that, or whether he just thought it was injured. But yeah, probably not the time to blow it down by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I thought they were. Mildmay had the ball and they were in control, and so I thought the referee. They could look at him on the bench. They're looking at him. Looks like some kind of shoulder injury. He's having trouble lifting it up, and you're going to see, there it is there, he gets knocked down, but there's no call. Well, there already is a penalty. There's a shot. And, of course, from the face-off, Nick Fairminer had it. Fairminer.
Yeah, they were probably lucky there that there wasn't, because it was definitely a push in the back end, a pretty dangerous spot there, too. But
if they weren't going to call the penalty, they should have waited till after the
play was over, yeah, until they had possession of the ball anyways. Manitoba had possession of the ball.
Well, especially when he got up and was heading to the bench under his own power, even before the whistle had gone. I guess he stayed down for a moment. Anyway,
yeah.
But Mildmay in behind the net. Mildmay on the power play.
Refereeing is a thankless job, so I'm glad I'm not out there doing it. So I'm not good.
Pardon me, Manitoba on the power play, and Mildmay just trying to kill off some time. We're going to play some offense. Lead pass. There it is. Oh, he couldn't get control of the ball as he's running at full tilt. He had a chance to get that breakaway. Great job killing this penalty off. 5 seconds to go with somebody coming out of the box. Back to the blue line. Over to Lane Grubb. Grubb's going to take a shot. It's deflected. Ball comes down in front, then knocked out of the stick, knocked out of the hand, going after the ball. No slash on that. Wyatt Goulet has it. Goulet gets it off to Gauthier. Gauthier had it taken off him and stolen by number 4, Grubb. Grubb takes it off into the corner looking for some help. Stops, turns, takes the ball deeper into the corner with Gauthier right on his tail. And then knocked off the ball was Lane Grubb. He wanted it. Lane Grubb just dumps it in front, loose ball. Trying to get a whack at it. And flipped it out. There's Scott again.
That almost looked like a jump ball at the start of a basketball game with it up there and 4 people going for it.
Well, they were looking to see if we get that ball to try to do something, and Mildmay has control of the ball behind the net. Scott going to pick it up. His ball handling skills are tremendous.
Yeah, well, he can work his way out of a phone booth, that's for sure.
Well, not saying something with a broom ball. In front, somebody started to wait. There, 2 white jerseys waiting for that pass to come out of the corner. In front, there's the shot. Can't get to it. And then knocking it down. Good pressure by Mildmay. Out to Holst. Holst has it. Holst to Kunkel. Kunkel, he's the goal scorer. Long shot. Right into the slot area. Couldn't control the ball. Was number 5, Chance Jeffrey. There's another setup. There's Kunkel firing it. Tried to deflect it. That's Jeffrey again. Into the slot area. J.J. Swanson, loose ball, good stop by the goaltender. Morneau, you can grab that ball, I understand, without getting into too much trouble with the referees.
Yeah, as long as you don't cover it up, you're fine.
In behind the net, Scott, 1-1 tie, 4:03 remaining. Now we're starting to look at looming at overtime. And we'll be going 3-on-3 with the overtime. 3:55, but that's what it is. And it's number 7, Gauthier. Gauthier gets it. He has Gauthier with him. There's 2, Aaron and Colby. There's the shot just wide. Racing after it is McGill. Quentin McGill can't get that ball away from Aaron Gauthier. Into the slot area, back to the blue line. There's a long shot, but it's just going off into the corner. And it's one of those plays where that's Logan Zister just put it in there. One of those changes. There's the shot off, and there's the net being moved. And who moved the net?
That was just a quick little play there to come out from behind the boards there and almost caught the goaltender napping.
But it was close. But I just kind of wonder who knocked the net off. So, well, it was a white jersey, as they said. So the faceoff's going to be deep to the right.
So often it ends up being the goaltender knocking the net off just when he's moving from side to side in this game. So we'll see if that was the actual case. But we've got him right back up against the net, and he quickly goes back there. And yeah, he's just trying to get right against that boards quickly, and that's why the net got knocked off. Great
shot as overhead shot. As you can see that foot knock it away. There's a backhand pass that went off into the corner. Comes back out to this side. Kick. There's a lead pass. Got a breakaway. You can get control of this thing coming in on goal. There's the shot off the side of the net. That was number 16, Dawson Beggs. They had a chance to tie this up. There's the shot off a body in front. The ball didn't get very far. 2-on-1. And coming back checking, good job. There's the shot. Ball deflected into the corner. Picked up by Dawson Beggs, and Beggs is along the far boards. 2:27. Overtime is looming. Dumping it through is number 13, McGill, and finally Bruno just puts the big hand on it, and he squeezes it, and we got a stop and play with 2:20 remaining.
That was one of those plays where Bruno was looking for at least one, if not both of his defenders to go closer over to the corner so he could play the ball out, but with them standing so close to the middle of the ice, it just wasn't worth taking the chance to try and move that ball.
Mildmay Moose and the Manitoba All-Stars, a men's B bronze game. And of course, we'll take some time out to have medal presentation after this game, but we're going into overtime. I can't see it not happening unless somebody comes up big in the next 2 minutes. But that's what's looming. In the corner, Curry.
Oh.
Curry, he gets knocked down, and there's going to be a penalty to number 5, and I think it's Alexander Allen is heading to the box, and Allen, you're going to see him take his man out here on Rogers replay.
Yeah, and just a dangerous spot, right on the numbers. There was no choice that the referees had. They absolutely had to call that. And with only a minute 50 left, Mildmay will be on the power play until end of regulation time, unless they score that goal.
And they'll go start the overtime period with 10 seconds on the power play. So
that's right. In overtime, that makes it a 3-on-2, which you don't get to say much in most sports. So
yeah, that's something. I was very, very surprised with it. I think that's an interesting way of doing it. I would just like to know if it would be 3-on-1.
Yeah, if you took 2. I honestly don't know. I don't think they would, but hey, you never know.
So you're having 2 minors.
That would be really difficult to defend if you only had. I also tended to wonder when you have the 3-on-2 whether it's worth some time even thinking about pulling your goalie and having a 4th player out if you would ever attempt to do that in overtime. You're obviously making yourself vulnerable, but you should have so much more ball control that it might be an offensive tactic. I wonder if teams have tried that before. I'll have to do some digging.
That's quite astute on your part, because I never thought of it in that context. But yeah, why not? Because it is very difficult to. I would do it if there was a 2-minute penalty.
Yes, yeah.
More so than I would do it as 3-on-3 and go 4-on-3. But if there's a 2-minute penalty, why don't you go 4-on-2?
4-on-2, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with all intents and purposes, if the ball comes up somebody, one of those players drops back into the net. He may not have the blocker, and that's the only thing I see a difference in equipment.
Pretty much so, yeah.
It's the blocker, and the rest of it is the same. So I would get rid of the blocker so that he can move with the ball. That makes sense. Maybe you should be coaching.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
But this overtime thing with the 3-on-2 is we saw that, and the Young Guns last night killed one off, and they just did a masterful job. And of course, along with the fact that the goaltending was unbelievable in that penalty. So anyway, here they go. This is number 6, Rick Holst. Holst has it. There's the chance. Losing his footing. Oh, was just getting set to wind up, and finally gets back to Holst. Holst wants to wind up. Having some trouble with footing out there, and that was number 5. Chance Jeffrey. Holst. Curry. There's the back pass. Back trying to set it up. There's the shot. Off a body in front. Nice play, and that's knocked down, and a face-off is going to go out to the red dot, or the blue dot, just outside the blue line.
And he knocked it down with the high brim, so now it's going to be a penalty to Mildmay, I think.
Oh, I didn't realize that was...
Yeah, so just one of those instinctive things. The ball's coming right at your head. You do anything to get it up, so he brought up his hands still on the broom, and hits the broom, and there you go. So now it's going to be... Now I'm really not sure how that will work if they end up going into overtime, whether they would go to... Yeah, so we'll have to see whether they play 2-on-2. I'm not sure. This is a new thing, so it looks like as I'm getting confirmation from our expert specialist over here, he's saying yes, it would go to a 2-on-2, which I'm pretty sure I've never saw in a sport before.
Well, if it's 2-on-2, there's going to be a lot of ice out there. Let me tell you, like running around on Lake Erie. I'll tell you.
That would have been my specialty out there with my speed.
True enough. I've never seen you play, but I'm going to touch that one. Christopher Cormack in the corner. Gets it back out to number 3, Fairminer. Looking in front. Got to score now. As it's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 30 seconds. Out comes Scott. Scott's just separated from the ball. And we're getting another penalty.
Looks like another penalty.
To the Moose. I don't know.
So I believe that means we go 2-on-1 then. If yeah.
Well, he's saying
our expert might not even be 100% sure, but he's saying that we shouldn't get any more penalties because it's really starting to get confusing out here. So
Scott, Kenny Scott went.
Yeah. I'm hearing voices. Is that a bad thing?
Well, it's a possibility. They may move the nets up to the blue line to just have the 2 goalies go at it.
There we go. That's a good idea. Move them up to the blue lines and just hit the ball back and forth.
Scott having the ball, 8 seconds, wants to get a shot away. Does. There's the shot into a bunch of bodies and then knocked down in front. Horn's going to go. If he doesn't get a shot away, there we go. We're into overtime. Now we're going to see how they're going to control this. Referees are going to come over to the penalty bench and try to figure out what they're going to do as Calvin Westerholt showed his disgust.
Yeah, because there's going to be, or it should be a 2-man advantage after 10 seconds go by for Manitoba here. So that, it would either be a 3-on-1 or a 4-on-2, I would think, is what they would do.
Well, I think probably 3-on-2, and then when they get... I'm not sure what they're going to do.
I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. But we can say this has been a great game. We figured it would be an evenly matched game, and it certainly has been. The plays went back and forth. Both teams have taken control for a while. Right now, I'm just looking down. It looks like the 2 captains are discussing with the referees right now as to exactly how many people are going to be on the ice for both teams, especially because you'll have someone coming out probably while the play is live. So you have to figure out how we work that, whether it goes to 4-on-2 or and then it changes once you have a stoppage in play. So there's lots of things to discuss down there.
3-on-1 would be the way we were looking at it if we were talking about it earlier, if they go according to plan, but I don't know how they can do that. It's just so.
It's probably not something where you end up having this many penalties at the end of a game where this would even come into play. So this is probably not something that even all the coaches are really 100% sure on what's going to happen here.
I really can't see them not having less than 2 players on the ice, and so I would say probably they would go 3 on, or go 4 on 2.
Yeah, I think probably what would happen is they'd start off 3 on 2, and then go 4 on 2. And I guess if there was no whistle at some point in time, it would be a rarity in overtime in Broomball, but you might have a 4 on 4 playing until the whistle goes, and then they would revert back to the 3 on 3. But they're discussing that all here, so we'll probably have a little bit longer break between the start of the overtime than normal. Certainly there are some key players to watch. Certainly I've noticed that on Manitoba, Scott seems to be the real danger guy out there that everything sort of runs through.
No doubt about that, but we've seen some good play from Nicholas Kunkel, who's with the Moose, and also both goaltenders have been equal to the task too, as you look at it. Have a look at the president of Broomball Canada pointing at the clock. So they want to make sure this is right. And of course, also the president of Doug Nixon, and hopefully.
Yeah,
the referees haven't opened the door to ask them, so obviously the.
So we have the president of Broomball Canada, the president of Broomball Ontario, and the head of officials here too. So certainly in the rink we have the people that are going to know exactly what's supposed to happen. And right now you have the officials discussing with these 3 heads to find out exactly what the process is supposed to be for the start of this overtime and going forward.
I'll give them a tie and go home.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone gets a medal. It's like Timbits hockey or something like that. Yeah, everyone's a winner. And the truth of the matter is, honestly, this game has been great. It's almost sad that someone's going to have to lose this because it's been a really entertaining game.
Oh, it has, but I've been extremely impressed with the skills of Kenny Scott to handle the ball really well and had that power play, moved the ball around really well, got the ball in close to the net, and of course, Watke made 2 great stops before Keith Blacksmith got the ball out of the air and put it in, and Kunkel just fired that shot from just the top of the circle and beat Bruno through the 5-hole, and 2 great scoring opportunities as we saw. So they are talking this over. They don't know how they're going to do it, but.
And I'm also impressed at how accurate some of the shooting is from the points. Guys are able to get that ball through because there's a lot of traffic in front of the net usually when it comes back to the defenseman. And although there's getting deflections, it's still getting close in there and creating real problems for the defense and especially the goalies to try and find it in that mess of humanity in front of them there.
Well, I'm amazed at the number of people that are up this early in the morning to come watch a Broomball game. I mean, this old 3,200, but there's a good number of people down here watching Broomball. If you're watching it on TV at 9 o'clock this morning, you want to come down and watch the Canadian Championships this afternoon. They would love to have you folks in the seats, and Broomball is an exciting sport. I'm totally blown away with the level of play that I've seen this weekend. And of course, the cream of the crop are here too for juvenile players, but these are kids between 16 and 20 years old. It's under 20 tournament, and I am extremely impressed with the level of talent and determination and dedication to the game that these kids have today. Broomball is not something that's always on your radar, and then you see this kind of tournament, realize how healthy the sport really is.
Yeah, there are some real hotbeds. We've certainly talked about that, and Grey Bruce, certainly we love our Broomball here too. We talked about Ottawa, that area of Ontario is another big hotbed. A little bit up north in Ontario. Quebec always has great teams. It's so popular all throughout Quebec, in the prairies and that too. Well, we see Manitoba has some representation. Saskatchewan here too. You always tend to have some really good teams from Alberta at times too. So yeah, just all across the country it's played, and it's played in other countries throughout the world too, not just Canada. But we're probably known as the strongest country, I think, for broomball.
Well, it's a great game too, and it's been around for a long time. And I talked earlier about playing broomball when I had my youth a number of years ago, and I mean, I can only remember the color of the jersey, I think, and some of the equipment, but it's been around a long time, and it's been played in local rinks, and it's talked with the president about the fact that the major cities broomball isn't as strong because it's hockey, and all the ice time goes to. But in the smaller communities in the provinces, we've got representation from Manitoba, we've got representation from Saskatchewan, we've got it from Quebec, we've got a number of teams from Ontario, a couple of teams locally, and these kids can play the game, and they're good athletes, and we watched the game earlier this morning with the ladies B gold medal game, and quality of play was excellent, and full marks to what's happening. I know there's quite the...
Yeah, they are really talking down there, and there's a lot of discussion as to what's happening. Well, because how they play this is going to make such a huge difference to the outcome of this game.
Well, officials conferred with themselves, and then conferred with the head referee, and now we're going to get it started. Then I think they're coming to center ice, and we're going to have face-off. So we'll see how they're going to. You'd almost think that, you know what, maybe a shootout. What do you think?
Yeah, there we go.
That's sacrilege.
Well, it's funny because when I was playing broomball, we actually overtimes didn't have goalies. We would play 4-on-4, but there would be no goalie on the ice, and you couldn't actually stop the ball inside the crease area. Yeah. So if you ended up stopping the ball in the crease area, then that would be a goal.
How long has the 3-on-3 been going, and has that changed? Because I remember doing the Ontario Men's Championship, and it was 4-on-4.
Yeah, they probably changed to the 3-on-3. I would think probably close to about 10 years ago or so, maybe a little bit more, or right in around that area, anyways.
Okay, they'll play 2-on-2 for the next 2 minutes, and then the second penalty will start. So they will play shorthanded by the look at things for 4 minutes, and they'll wipe out the 10-minute penalty. So they'll finish off the 52. 6 will have that penalty, and then they will play 3-on-2 until there's a stop, and then the next penalty will start.
Yeah. So basically it looks like it's almost like a delayed penalty in a way, that second penalty that they just take. So it won't start until, it really, in a sense, won't start until their first penalty, their being Mildmay, has ended.
Well, they've got 2:27 up for 12 on there for the amount of time. So there they go. Anyway, they will knock down the first 2-on-2 for the next. Then it will be 3-on-2, and Mildmay will have to weather the storm here. And here comes the power play. Now and he's directly heading to the bench. And but the clock is running down. So they will. Well, I guess what they'll do is just run the penalties off until at 3-on-2. Manitoba has the ball. Back out to Scott. Scott's great to handle. They're going to take the shot off a body in front. They're just going to park him on either side of the goaltender, hope to get it through. There's Scott again. Scott has a back pass on this side to Caron, I believe. There's Caron, takes the shot. And Jason Watsky makes the play and just knocks the ball in behind to kill time. Get the clock.
Yeah, that's a smart play. Just try, and hopefully maybe you can get it out. That's what Mildmay is thinking, is just play with that ball, try and find an opening, and blast it down the ice.
Exactly what they're doing, and they get it up. Nice play at the blue line to keep it with Zerardi, and we know that this is a good player too. Number 12's got a lot of ice time today. Zerati, I think we pronounced it properly there. Back to Scott. Scott can stick handle. He can shoot. He has good ball control. And Scott, little back pass on the backside. There's the shot. Good block by Fairminer. Fairminer's been playing a lot of ice time too. Good defenseman. Fairminer's the captain. There's the shot. Oh, he just faked it. Trying to get that ball in a little closer to get the lane. Fairminer comes out, stays with him a bit, and then gonna back him off. Back to Scott again on this side. Zerati, there's the shot, just whistled that wide. Back out to Scott. Scott getting set, gonna wind up, gonna let her go. This time he does. Oh. What a save!
What?
Oh, Watkey got the toe on that, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that was a beautiful save there. The defender took a little bit of the sting off the shot, but it changed directions, and that was just a great play. And you could tell they were trying to make Scott not be the guy to beat them. So, yeah, he just slowed it down a little bit. Number 3, Fairminer, and yeah, that was enough to allow Watkey to get his hands on it. And wow, what a save! Another face-off in the offensive zone here for Manitoba, but they're close to getting out of this whole jam of being shorthanded, Mildmay.
Well, they're 26 is now out of the penalty box, and they've only got, they're still playing 3-on-2, so we got 26 seconds. They're now less than that now. To wind it down, then it's going to be 3-on-3 for 18 minutes, or at least until we decide what it's going to decide. There's the shot, and it just off the end of the broom, and not very good. As number 10, Scott, had a chance to do it. Scott's been out there for this whole 2 minutes, 3 minutes of just out there. He killed off the penalties. And if you get it.
Yeah, and now they're trying to get the third player out there, because, yeah, we should be even strength now.
Well, they weren't sending him out of the box. He can't leave unless he's been told, but the clock wound down. I thought they were going to play one off, but they let them both penalties run down.
And the problem was probably they were trying to figure out who was supposed to come out of the box, and I think it would have been either player's choice, honestly.
Well, no, they have to serve their penalty. They first one first, and then they do it. So, and the Manitoba All-Stars with control of the ball in the offensive zone to get it back out to Scott. Scott hasn't left the ice surface yet. He's been out there for about 8 minutes. So it's 6 minutes have been gone in this period. Here comes Scott again. Scott's one-on-one. Calvin Westerhout. Scott just takes the ball and moves it away.
He's got eyes in the back of his head there. He just knows when someone's coming and where to move it.
This is a good player. Could make the Canadian All-Star team. There's the shot, and it just whistles wide. And Watkey has played just a super game. Ball into the corner, and that's number 8, Dominic Diracni. I'm not sure how you, but anyway.
And Scott has finally went off here for a quick breather. Nice play, though, to recover by the Manitoba player.
Zerati, he just came back and got that into the zone. Zerati's been out there a long time, too. Zerati stops and turns. And off the bench comes Goulet. That's Wyatt Goulet out there now with number 7, Gauthier. And Zerati in behind the own goal. Zerati has it. And that's almost stolen by Chris Cormack. And finally they get it out. Little pass up. Stolen. There's the shot. Off the hand and just by the net. As Bruno got just a piece of that and knocked it enough to just have it whistled by the post. Stopped off the leg of Fairminer. Fairminer. He's the captain. Fairminer twists and turns. There's the shot off the side of the net. Fairminer gets control in behind the net. Gauthier on him. Fairminer has it again. Fairminer looking for somebody to come into the zone. Running around out there. Number 13, Quentin McGill. He got good. There's the shot. Didn't quite get it set up, but he had a chance. There's Fairminer again. Fairminer in the zone. Mildmay Moose. They have control of the ball in the zone, and Fairminer has it at the blue line. Fairminer makes a move, gets around Gauthier. Aaron Gauthier. There's the shot. Oh, good stop. He got the leg out on it, then knocked down.
Yeah, beautiful save there, just kicking out the right leg there. And
boy, we've seen some great saves in this overtime.
yeah, the goaltending's been outstanding this whole tournament. And yeah, not only making the save, but then using the broom to collect that ball and not give up that dangerous rebound.
Fairminer getting set for the face-off along with Scott. Scott's back out there. Scott wins the draw, knocks the ball back in behind him, and then gets control of it in behind his own net. Scott. And taking his time to get things organized, and finally there's a long lead pass, and that's the idea, to drive it down the floor. And Aaron Gauthier gets to it first. Gauthier has it. Colby Gauthier. I'm assuming the two of them are related. There's Gauthier. There's the shot, and steered into the corner by Jason Watke. Watke having a great game today as he made some really good stops to keep the Moose in the game earlier in that third period. Howard comes out in front. There's a little backhand shot. Couldn't get it through. It was Colby Gauthier. He had an opportunity. Came back to the point. Here comes Scott at the blue line. And we're getting, I thought a whistle because everybody kind of stopped. We're getting a little tired out there. Nice move. Scott gets away as he twists and turns and makes that spinorama. There's the shot. Good stop by Jason Watke. There's the shot off. Oh! Aaron Gauthier had a chance. They had open corner. Couldn't put it away. There's the shot. Knocked down in front. Jason Watke getting a piece of it, and it's knocked out of the zone and over the glass, and we're getting a stop and play. Boy, I'm telling you that Jason Watke come up big in that series.
Here he goes, tries a slight version of the spaceman here, and instead of shooting, he passes it over to his player Gauthier, and he just couldn't get a piece of it there. Boy, that Scott is one fun player to watch, that's for sure.
Oh, he is, and almost put his team in winning a medal with that foray in the zone. And getting set to face off is Dominic DeRigny. Back out to Zrati. He's been on when Scott isn't on. That's the guy they've got out there trying to. Mildmay had not had much since. There's the shot, and then deflected away in front, hitting the body. Mildmay, Westerhout. Westerhout trying to get out of the zone. Bothered there by DeRigny. And here comes Mildmay through center, 2-on-1. Kunkel on one side. There's the shot off a foot, not Kunkel, pardon me, number 17, J.J. Swanstone.
Yeah, just the pass just was a little behind him, and it just created too much of a problem for him. Now 2-on-1 coming the other way.
Lead pass right off. Just missed by number 8, DeRigny. As he had a chance, he has it again. Back outside to Zrati. Zrati back to number 8, DeRigny.
Guess who's on the ice?
Yeah. How can I figure out Kenny Scott? Here's Scott back out there. He's had a lot of time, and we may be going to a second overtime period. They don't score soon. 9:50, go down to 2-on-2, I guess. Move the nets closer together, but boy, oh boy, this has been exciting as both goaltenders have come up huge in this game.
Yes, Watke has been outstanding here for Mildmay, especially the last, in all of overtime so far.
Here comes Mildmay, 2-on-1 again, little lead pass, couldn't get it to him, but there's Scott coming down the ice. Scott Westerhout. Westerhout stops with the ball, waiting for some help. Directing traffic out there is DeRigny. That's Dominic. And then Fairmember has it in the corner. This is trying to get the back pass. Oh, pardon me, that's Calvin Westerhout. And he just slows it down. Looking for Christopher Cormack, trying to get into the slot area. Does get into the... But slowing the pace down again. Scott just waiting for him to do what he wants to do with the ball. Scott just stays close. Westerhout.
You can tell they've got a set play set up here almost from a certain area because he's trying to take it back into that same spot, get guys to move into that position, and just try and move the Manitoba players out of position.
Scott, number 12, Chris Cormack, and then they're moving. Cormack has it. Cormack Back is Westerholt with, just a nice defensive play by Scott. Or was that to Roddy? Yes, it was. Of course, Roddy, he just made a nice play in front of that net. You can see them in behind the goal. Just slowing things down. That's Scott. And you can hear the crowd yelling, do something with the ball. As the arena's got some people in it, which is kind of neat to see. I know we've got a... Here's Gauthier. Aaron Gauthier being driven off the ball by Nick Fairminer. Fairminer trying to get control of it. Does. Here comes Fairminer. 2-on-1 if he gets moving. Past Scott. Fairminer. Here we are. He's got a chance. There's the shot. Oh! Fairminer just missed it as it went by.
Oh, boy.
Great play. 2-on-1, and they set it up perfectly, but just unfortunately couldn't put it away.
Yeah, beautifully set up there. All it was a tap in, and he just couldn't quite get the angle right. And we'll see whether that comes back to haunt Mildmay.
Well, it could, because you can never tell, but there's Scott. He's starting to get a little tired, I think, because he's not moving out there like he was in that first part of the loose ball in front, knocked off to the side. After it is Grubb, and Grubb couldn't get it. Another one of those little dump passes by Colby Gauthier, and somebody's not happy as Nick Fairminer is just slapping the bench with his stick because he knows he had that goal and couldn't put it in.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. He'll be chopping at the bit to get back out there to try and redeem himself there.
Well, what a great play, but that's what happens, loose ball, here they go, chasing after it. Going down there, big number 8, Everett Grubb.
Oh, nice shot.
Got a shot away. In the corner, after it.
Oh!
Rigney. Knocked down Goulet. Ball comes back out to the blue line, and now you're starting to see some of the bench come up. We have just a first shift, I believe, for Alexander Allen. Allen gets a chance and then loses his footing and getting back in time. It's number 6, Rick Olsen, then he gives him a little shot just as it comes back out to the blue line. There's number 8, Dominic DeRigny. You can see a change in the players now. Those ones that they figured might do it for them, now they're using their bench. Back in through center to Goulet. And Goulet just loses it, and it comes back over to 5:42 remaining in the overtime period.
Guys are starting to look a little bit more tired out there too now. The passes aren't nearly as crisp and firm, and yeah, like you say, you're seeing some different players out there just because the other guys are just gassed.
Well, 13 wide Goulet we haven't seen in the overtime. This is the first night shift that we've seen him have. And I believe number 12 too is the first one we've seen, or Blacksmith, or number 8, yes. Pardon me. No, Dimitri we have seen, but you see it twisting and turning. There goes Westerholt. He's got a chance. Got a breakaway going right in on goal. There's the shot. Oh, what a great stop. Didn't get the shot away as Westerholt had a chance. And a little dump pass through center up to Colby Gauthier. There we go again. Got caught on the change. Number 13, there's the shot in on goal. Shoots over top of the goal crease. That was number 13, Quentin McGill, as he caught them on a bad change. And we're getting a penalty.
Yeah, Quentin McGill just sort of swung his stick around once he lost it and took the Manitoba player down. And Manitoba's going to go back on the power play here.
Wow. This has got everything. Look at this, right in on goal. You're watching a replay. And he had him beat, and he just too high, right idea.
And yeah, you just have Zarate protecting that ball there, and he couldn't help himself. He just had to go for it, and Miguel takes the swipe and takes the player down, and now Mildmay's going to have to try and kill another 2-minute penalty here.
I know McGill is, that was just exuberance. I was just being frustrated by missing the goal and had time to think about it. Now here's Scott taking the face-off. And of course, that's Nick Fairminer. He's had a great game today too. Scott, there comes out in front, there's the shot. Another shot, another stop. Watke coming up big again, 2 close-in chances. And Watke closing the door.
Oh, here comes trouble.
3-on-2. Oh, they didn't get the ball where they wanted it, but Scott's going to get it into the corner. As Nick Fairminer is out there. Girardi, there's the shot, and it was off a leg in front. I believe the goaltender got a piece of that, knocked it off into the corner. Zorzradi has it at the blue line. Crossed it. Is he going to shoot this time? Yes, he does. Backhand shot and wide. Fairminer in the corner gets control. Fairminer has it. That's the way to waste some time. Got a 2-on-1. But Fairminer's going to go in on his own. He has it. There's the shot. Blocked by Zach Zarate, and he made a nice block on that, but great play by number 3, Nick Fairminer, as he took the ball and had a possible 2-on-1, but you could see the other player, the defensive player, decide that, wait a minute.
That leaves no one back.
That leaves nobody. Smart play. Of course, Kenny Scott, we've talked about him. Scott's getting set. 30 seconds. There's Scott getting set to fire the ball. Doesn't do it. You can see him handling, getting closer and closer and closer. There's the backdoor shot. Not going to happen. Scott has it. Down to this side. Scott going to wind up, fire it off a body in front. Now we're going to have another break. Coming on quickly is Holtz. Holtz has a chance, gets the shot. Nice block by Zarate. Has it on this side, tries to do the wraparound, couldn't get it in. What a great job killing this penalty off. 1 second and they're done out of the box. And what a great job, Nick Fairminer. And was out there most of the time. And of course, number 13, Quentin McGill, steals the ball. Sitting in the sin bin. Now it's 2-on-1. Number 19, Calvin Westerholt, playing well on that power, killing that penalty off too. Tried to knife it through to Fairminer. 1:58 remaining. Mildmay trying to get control. Gauthier in behind the net. Aaron Gauthier, number 7. And Manitoba All-Stars. Boy, this overtime is going to put the schedule back a minute or two.
I think it certainly will, yeah.
Because we're heading for second overtime period here. Fairminer just playing around with it along the boards, not wanting to, then losing it, and then dumped down the ice.
And you can tell that, Manitoba, that number 13, he just needed to get off Goulet. He was way too tired to be out there.
Fairminer gets the shot. Nice stop off the shoulder of goaltender Ian Bruno.
Yeah. Oh.
And now Manitoba's going to get another.
Mildmay's going to have another penalty now. So, we've got a fourth runner on there now for.
And finally, we're getting the whistle.
I was starting to wonder there because I thought they had possession. I was thinking, this could be dangerous if they don't have a goalie in there. So, they're going to have to try and kill off yet another penalty here. This is not how you draw it up on the board, but a beautiful shot there by Alexander Allen.
12 was Christopher Cormack. Just put the arm around him and dragged him down. And you can see him sitting in the penalty box, and now they're calling a timeout. Or is it just, timeout by somebody. Do you get a timeout in overtime, or if you haven't used it, because they used it in...
there seems to be some sort of timeout. Probably one of those ones just to... someone's wanting to rest someone up, and I'm guessing it's probably they just wanted to get Scott a little bit of a breather.
Well, yeah.
But between Scott for Manitoba and Fairminer for Mildmay, boy, those two guys have logged a lot of ice time here today already.
Now we are getting a full timeout, so somebody's calling it here. And it's 3-on-2 is what we're playing here as Manitoba All-Stars have a power play, and it's 4 minutes. I'd like to.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
we got it on sportsmanlike conduct penalty on top of that. So we definitely did see the penalty being called we wrapped him around him and drove him to the ground, but to the ice. But now we got a 4-minute penalty. If it goes into a second overtime period, it's going to be uphill sledding, let me tell you.
Yeah, that could make it really costly. I have to admit, I'm quite amazed at how well these teams, not just in this game, but throughout the tournament, have been able to defend with only 2 players. That's really tough, and I thought that would be almost a guaranteed goal. But yeah, even with 2 defenders.
Well, looking at them and how they were doing it, you get your goaltender is sitting primarily in the center of his net, and they're dropping those 2 players right down in front in that area. So they have to get it through 3 players. It's like playing at the top of the key on a regular penalty, and getting the ball atop of the slot area, pardon me, and trying to get that ball to that first wave in the box. So what they're doing is, from what my estimation is they're dropping the 2 players back in front of the net and covering both sides of the hole on either side. So.
Exactly, yeah. So that's the big thing. They're just trying to cover it up, and the offense either has to try and tip in from the side or trying to move those players so that you have a lane in the middle for a shot.
Mildmay got to kill this off for another 43 seconds in this period. Can't do it. Here comes Scott. Scott's been a big factor in Manitoba's play. Just dumps it off to Zerati. Out there, number 12, just puts it on his foot. There's Scott, going to be the hero in this game. Nope, Zerati's got a chance. Here's Scott going to wind up, take a fly. But they're bringing the ball in closer. They're not looking at that big shot. They're looking, and then he dumps it off into the corner.
Yeah, they tried something a little different there. They had 1 guy parked pretty much right in front of the net and 2 out front, just to try and change things up a little bit here.
There's a shot driven and wide. Scott not in position to get the rebound. Horn's going to go, and we're going to get a stop. And boy, oh boy, we're going to double overtime, I'll tell you. And this is just a B game.
Yes.
So we talked about it earlier in the game, and we talked about what these guys would do. And boy, when they put these jerseys on, they're playing for the pride, and they're playing for their province and their town, and there's the Mildmay and Ontario, and vice versa. The Manitoba All-Stars. Some of those kids are probably from all over the Winnipeg area. So that's what the bus said. Anyway, it said it was from Winnipeg.
Oh yeah,
so I'm assuming that they were packing it up this morning, getting ready because they got a long ride out. If anybody knows, it's coming drone sound to get to Winnipeg. It's not direct because you got 3 lakes to go around.
That's that's a little over probably a 30-hour drive, 32-hour drive in that general neck of the woods. So.
Well, doing that trip a number of times since I have a brother there, you got to do 14 hours the first day, and you're looking 8-9 the second. If you want to do it in 2 days. If you're going around the lake, you're looking at. If you're going north of Superior, which is not a good time of year to do that because the weather is so unpredictable. As you can tell, what we've got outside today, we've got more snow in the last 3 days than we had all of March. So, and this is April, and usually, but to come all the way from Manitoba, there's 2 ways to go. You can go up through on 17 and go across below Lake Superior, or the route we like to take is to go down to Port Huron and then go to Chicago. Go through Chicago around 1 o'clock, and it's not rush hour, and then take about 4 or 5 hours and get up into Minnesota, in around Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then it's about 8 hours from there. So, but the other side of it is too, once you get into North Dakota, it's 75 miles an hour, and you can go from Fargo you can go from Fargo to North Dakota to the border in about an hour and 45 minutes. So set your cruise at 78 and get a ticket. And it's straight as an arrow too. The roads are just like this ice surface for almost 200 miles. So.
Wow.
Anyway, in behind the net, of course, this is Dorzrati, and they've on the power play. They've got 2:51 to be on the power play, and that's 3-on-2 here in overtime. And what a tremendous job. Mildmay goaltender Jason Watke, at this point in time, in my book, is the player of the game because he's had some really serious shots to stop. Off a leg in front as Westerhout got that big leg in front of it on the shot. Back out to Scott, who can handle the ball in a phone booth. And Scott takes it. There's the backhand shot high on top of the net. That was the best scoring chance because but he couldn't get it down below. You figure that net's a little bit bigger than a hockey net. It's about almost 4.5 feet to 5 feet high. So
Yeah.
I think it's 24 square feet in a hockey net, and there's twice that for the broomball. So
Yeah, just a little bit bigger, which is good because the ball's a little bit bigger. So it can seem like it's really small when you're shooting, and if you're in net, it can feel like it's really, really big.
well, here comes along the boards. It's Kenny Scott. They got to start making something happen here because going to go back to 3-on-3. This is the opportunity.
Oh.
Another big stop by Watkins. He got down in front of that ball and then knocked down. And we're going to go 2-on-2. As I believe number 8, Dominic DeRigny, Rockigny, I think it's the proper.
I know he had a beautiful. There's a beautiful shot there by Scott that he tipped, and the goalie made an excellent save right here, and that was able to just squeeze the legs there, and then a little bit of a slash, a little bit of a hold, and then the trip, and finally there was no choice. The referee had to call it. So now we're back to 2-on-2.
This should be interesting in a face-off deep in the zone.
And these sort of star players off both teams have got to be getting gassed right now.
Well, there's no doubt. I don't know how long they can keep mine going. But, of course, he's got some speed. If he has got anything left, that's Kenny Scott down the ice surface. Slows it down.
For these guys, it's their last game of the tournament, so you might as well empty out the tank, that's for sure.
Rick Holst is out there along with, I believe, Calvin Westerholt. And so he's the captain. So the ball just slowly doing something. And then, of course, they're going to go on the power play. This is Kevin Scott. Watch Kevin Scott move that ball around. Scott getting set up to get the shot, and he can't handle it. But staying right with him is the Mildmay forward and knocked it away.
Yep.
He's got some speed. He's got it.
Yep.
That's Holtz. Holtz reading on goal. And he's knocked down.
Beautiful save.
There's got to be a penalty shot on that.
I don't think anything's getting called there. I think he actually went down himself. That's
Oh, I want to see this on replay.
Yeah, I sort of thought that he just went down on his own just to try and move the ball over.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
Good stop by Bruno to stay with it.
Tried another version of the spaceman there. Didn't work. Everyone tries it. Very rarely does it ever seem to work. But you know what? It's an easy way to move the ball from one position to another and try and get your goaltender out of position in there.
Oh, here comes the run. There's the shot. Oh, just slid by that open corner.
Save.
As Watke got a piece of it. Of course, that's Zarate, and he's been out there a lot too. That's Gauthier, passes it back up to Zarate. Big number 19, I believe the captain of the team, Westerville. Trying to figure out what to do with this and twisting and turning. Zarate trying to set up the shot. And they're going on the power play for almost 30 seconds. And there's the shot. Whoa! I thought that was in for a moment. And said the face-off should go down the ice. And you're going to watch it here. That's just cool.
Yeah. This to me might be the save of the tournament that I've saw so far. Just was able to make sure that his leg got in there and deflected it wide of the net there. What a save by Watke there. Another little bit of a talk here as to where exactly the face-off will be. Referees are going to converse here. And yeah, this has not necessarily been an easy game for the referees out there too, but they've did a great job. They want to make sure they get these calls right, that's for sure.
Well, now they're going to come and confer with the referee in chief again. I guess they're going to the penalty box anyway. And I don't know what.
Yeah, they're checking with something anyways, as to what it is. I'm sure I'm sure there's probably 4 or 5 guys on the ice that are happy to get this little breather anyways, but we see a shot of the other teams that have probably been waiting in that hallway to play for quite some time now to get out there and warm up.
Well, yeah, with one set of the kids, the team sitting in the stands, they're watching the game. These guys are in the runway, and probably in the tunnel. So anyway, we've got 21 seconds remaining in the power play. 11:48 remaining in the second overtime period. So we're playing a second game, and Aaron Gauthier. So looking for a goal. How long this is going to go on? Manitoba better get one. Their bus is already packed, ready to go.
Yeah, they might have burned a little bit in fuel already.
Well, this game has gone on a lot longer than anybody expected.
Oh, nice timing.
Lead pass, and it couldn't corral that ball was Farminer. Farminer lead back out to Westerholt. Westerholt has it. And the penalty is over. Coming out of that penalty box is DeRigny. There's a shot cleared off into the corner, off the goaltender, Ian Bruneau. Bruneau's been just as sharp as Watke has been in the other end. 19 is Westerholt. He has the ball. 3-on-3 overtime period. 6 minutes gone in the second one. And powers that be tell us that they will play overtime until the game has been decided.
Boy, they just sort of keep going, don't they? This is hard to believe that the games will probably just keep getting better and better as this day goes on.
Oh, they are. And we've got the gold medal games coming up later this afternoon on Rogers TV. Matt Sanderson will be here doing play-by-play. I have one more game this morning. You were only supposed to have 2 games this morning, and you're getting a third one. I rolled into it, so.
Well, the funny thing is, I think pretty much almost all the games I've did have went to overtime so far. I think only one hasn't. So. Well,
it's been an exciting game, but we've got 3-on-3. We've had penalties. We've had. There's the stop. Nice steal by Mildmay, number 7, Isaac Coble, and you're starting to see more and more players come off the bench that haven't been out there before. Kevin Westerholt.
And you're even going to see guys that probably don't play a lot of overtime period in any sort of game. So this should be a challenge for some.
Nick Fairminer gets through. Fairminer, nice defensive play. Rosati got back, lifted his broom, and you couldn't get the shot away like he wanted. And you could see him just reaching for some air. And he's in behind the net, and he's heading for the bench as fast as he can, which isn't very fast. Coming off the board, over the board, Dawson, J.J. Swanston. Swanston, number 17. You can tell him by the only red helmet on the ice. So
makes it easy on you there. Oh, here comes the steal.
Stealing that ball. It's number 6, Rick Holt. Holt's right in on goal. Holt's got it. There's a shot. Another great stop by Bruno. Bruno made. That's a third breakaway in the last little while. 2 by that young man, Rick Holtz, as he had an opportunity again, shaking his head. And I'll tell you, Fairminer, if they lose this game, will be thinking about that one that he couldn't deflect into the goal and just before the end of regulation.
Absolutely, yes. And here comes a bit of a break.
Coming up the ice.
Blue tire.
And that happens because they're getting tired. But you're going to see more and more players come off the bench that we haven't called. Of course, this is Holst. He just had a breakaway. He's got some speed, too. Holst just dumps it, and it hits the clock and goes down. And you're looking at Zorati, and he's just... Here's the breakaway shot right here.
I can tell he's breathing heavy. Yeah, here we go. And and he just couldn't get enough of that ball, and it just sort of lightly slides into Bruno there.
But who made the defensive play? Kenny Scott got back and bothered him enough that play.
Exactly. He wasn't able to do a big wind-up, or he wasn't able to try and move the ball one way or another. So
Kenny Scott's out there again, along with number 13, Wyatt Goulet. And we haven't called this number, Alexander Allen, too often in the overtime, but he's out there. Allen gets by Allen, and Allen just picks up the loose ball. Yes, J.J. Swanston had a chance. Here comes again. We're calling his number. This is Kenny Scott. Scott twists and turns, a little back pass off the boards, does it. still has it. Staying with him is Holt. And Holt has got great speed. We saw him take off just a little while ago on a breakaway. And Scott has trouble getting the ball by him. Good job by number 6, Rick Holst.
Yeah, these guys have learned you got to play the man. Don't be watching the ball or you're in deep trouble against Scott.
Westerholt got the ball up. Westerholt has it again as he took it from Holt. Westerholt coming in on goal. There's the shot. Couldn't get it across to Johnston. There's Swanson, pardon me. Sorry about that. Swanson in front, to back it off. Left guard.
Wow.
On the second opportunity, Mildmay wins it in overtime.
Wow. What a beautiful save by Bruno first, and then the ball comes right back to the Mildmay player, and he roofs it. Oh,
Well, this game is over, boys. You can come out on the ice, I tell you.
Wow, that was unbelievable. A beautiful first stop, and then from his knees, what a great play by J.J. Swanston. And yeah, just roofs it up there, and that's where he had to put it, or the goalie would have made that stop. Just, wow, what a phenomenal game.
And the odd part about it is the fact that we didn't see Swanson until the second overtime period. He never was on the ice until, I don't think he got any shifts. And then to come along and get the winning goal to win the medal in the B bronze game. This is an exciting game, win into overtime. Mildmay Moose win this one over the Manitoba All-Stars. And boy, what a game. And they feel kind of bad for Kenny Scott, who played such a great game, and in my book would be the player of the game for Manitoba. Did just a tremendous job. Both goaltenders deserve honorable mention
Yes.
on both teams, but I think you've got to give the player of the game to the overtime winner, going to number 17, J.J. Swanson. And so we got those two guys, and wow, just unbelievable. You cannot tell you the Jason Wackey what a great game he played, and
Yeah, a couple of those saves were just unbelievable, and yeah, that one that he made where it just went off the inside of his leg and over into the corner was just yeah, it was unbelievable. These guys put on such a show.
we got a great interview by the coaches of the Killside Flyers, and they're coming up on your screen, and they're going to talk about how well this team has done. And but we're going to step away as the medal presentation take place, and you can see Mildmay. They're pretty excited. This is a bronze medal game in the Canadian Championships, and they played so well. So we're going to do that interview, and